Hello everyone and welcome back to Stoneblock 4. Last time we were here we set up a basic production for our power, however we do have an issue with keeping up with Molten Blaze at the moment. The foundry requires 12,000 Fe per blaze rod, which means this internal buffer can only melt I think 3 blaze rods at a time. I believe we just need to simply add some more capacitors and that should fix our issue. However, thanks to a lovely comment in my last video, I have crafted a Just Dynathane's black hole. Now this is basically an energy trash can, however it does have an internal buffer of 2.1 billion Fe, which means we are using this as a simple energy storage and energy buffer. Now we have it set to high, so therefore it doesn't void it, because if this was set to low, which I won't set it to, or off, this would void all of the power. So we set it to redstone signal high, which means the power just gets stored in there, and we just have it being pulled out to fuel back into the capacitor, and we have it being pulled out to fuel into our tesseract, which will transfer our energy around our base. But yeah, this is a great energy buffer, so shout out to that person. Another update, I've gone ahead and removed the crystal growth accelerators. They are completely blacklisted from Growing Roost Ultimate Seeds, so whether I place them whatever manner, I think everyone who told me I had them the wrong direction, I did try every possible direction and I have used them in the past to grow seeds, so I know what they're supposed to look like. They are simply blacklisted from Growing Roost Seeds, which is very unfortunate, but we will move on and find a better source of seed growing. And we might get to that this episode, but it might be next episode. We'll see. However, like I said, I do want to get some more capacitors for this guy. 47,000 blaze rods so far being crafted, but we do need this guy to speed up slightly, and I think blaze rods would help. So I've gone ahead and replaced this entire side with capacitors, and I believe this should fix our issue entirely, because this should allow the smelting of most of the blaze rods in our controller at once, without the energy completely depleting. Okay, it's not bad. It's a lot better than it was before, I will say. The buffer doesn't empty out. However, there's still an issue with how fast they're smelting. I think the case is we're just going to simply need more controllers or a way to speed this up. Now, there are a few ways to speed things up in Minecraft, tick-wise. The Watch of Flowing Time is one of them. This is fantastic, however, it can only be bought from the Echo of Ancient, who we've yet to meet. And it's for 325 coins, which is crazy, but that is an option. The other option would be using the Soul Laser base with a Warden. However, this is locked behind both Euphonium and advanced machine block upgrades for the World Engine, so we are quite far off of this as well. However, the Soul Surge is probably a more realistic goal than getting the Watch of Flowing Time, but we'll see. We'll see which one we get first. However, I don't believe this energy system behind us is going to take us to that point in the game anyways, so we'll probably have to upgrade. But for now, our little rinky-dink energy system has 176 million forge energy built up, and it's slowly working. It's not perfect, but it's working. We could definitely upgrade it. Nevertheless, today I did want to upgrade our echoes, and I want to complete the second chapter of the quest book, which means getting into a bit of apotheosis, and also finding the Chronoton star, and getting time-space glass, whatever this might be. This looks really interesting, but first we're going to start with the apotheosis mod, as it is the easier of the two, as we already have progressed into it as we went to the deep dark already, so that one should be pretty easy to do and not too difficult. However, it is not tedious, it is just repetitive, but if you've done apotheosis once, you've done it every time. It hasn't changed much since when it comes to the enchanting level ups, so you can breeze through apotheosis up until end blocks, which is like the dragon head and all that, but until that, we can just breeze through it really fast. So let's start. Now, you could either start with the hell shelves or the sea shelf route. Sea shelves do require us to have access to pufferfish, which I guess we could do pretty simply, it seems, by just turning any random fish with bamboo, and there are probably a few ways we could get fish other than fishing in this pack, but we're going to go with the hell shelves. Now, these do require you to have both blaze rods and gas tiers. We have plenty of blaze rods, but we don't have gas tiers. However, thanks to our favorite friends, the chickens, which we will eventually have every chicken set up, and I think that might be next episode or the episode after. I do want to get that production line going for sure at some point. However, a simple bone and blaze rod chicken will get us our gas chicken. However, to feed these guys, we do need raw replica and a gas tier to make the tier 6 chicken seed to begin with. We'll go ahead and breed it up. However, we do have a bit of replica thanks to our slight bit of other stone we got the other day. So I went ahead and sieved that up, so we have 4 Certus and 6 replica. So we do have a bit. However, gas tier, I don't believe we have one yet. We do have a single gas tier, and that was probably from the nether chests when we went exploring in that one nether dungeon. So we have severely lucked out. I will need a tier 6 soul. Just go ahead and speed this guy up really fast. Gotta love a temporal pouch. Alright, so we can make a tier 6 seed very easy, thanks to luck on our side. And if we do it like any other, a goodbye. Oh, hello, Mr. Goat. What are you gonna drop for me today? Anything? Anything useful? Ooh, we got an everlasting beef. Okay, I mean, we'll take that. We now have infinite food. Perfect. Okay, where is our feeding upgrade? We are going to allow everlasting beef. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn on the memory settings and lock that beef into that slot, which means if I ever throw it into my backpack, it will always go back there and it will never be sorted otherwise. And the reason I do that is just because I often or not will shift drag click all items out or in, and I will almost never click that bottom slot now. But yeah, we now have infinite food. I do want to keep those lockpicks on me, however, just because, like I said, I do want to do one of those vaults today. However, our gas chicken has got to level 26. I mean, that's good enough for now. I do want to throw him in a roost and get some gas tiers. Okay, so level 26 gets us 14 per. It's pretty good, I will say. And that is more gas tiers than we will ever need. However, I will go throw him back in here just so he can be trained up for what it's worth. Now we just have 3 brewing stands here. Very simple potion brewing. And then simply just get some potions of regen for our hell shelves. And then just simply nether brick as well, which we should have plenty of. Now, like I said, we're going to get to the deep shelf level. I can't unfortunately do it without a warden tendril, so we might end up going back to the deep dark to get some warden kills, potentially. I'm not guaranteeing that. However, we can definitely get to echoing for now, and then we won't be able to do pearlescent, obviously, as we don't have a dragon head or infused dragon's breath at this moment. Now, we should be able to get some good gear doing this basic apotheosis up to the deep shelves, thanks to this. And then we should be able to have a fine time going through this new hidden vault in the deep slate ring. However, I'm not entirely sure what that entails yet. So I don't really have a good spot for this enchantment table, but I think this corner will do fine. Now, unfortunately, we don't have an XP farm to pair alongside our enchanting setup, but that isn't the largest of deals at the moment. It is something we can easily fix in the future. But if we wanted to enchant things, we can simply throw stuff in here at the moment and just enchant, but that isn't obviously what we want to do. I'm just going to take all of my experience out of the obelisk for now. And if I just place down one more hell shelf, which I forgot, I can go ahead and enchant my hell shelves, my extra ones, and infuse them. So that's 16 total hell shelves placed down. Now we have infused ones. These infused ones can then be crafted into different shelves, such as the blazing hell shelf, or the hell shelf of sight, or the glowing one. And then with these infused hell shelves, we can go ahead and smack these down if we would like to, which would get us up to eternal level 60 max. Currently, these will allow us max 45, as you can see with Wayla at the top there. Now, we are very low on paper at the moment, so I'm going to go ahead and make a sugarcane farm. Now, we can simply do this with Snad, a very basic timer from RF Tools utility. And what this will allow us to do, if we go ahead and set this timer to 2, this works perfect. If you set it to 1, as you see, the redstone signal simply just doesn't work. It is permanently powered. So setting it to 2 with this timer allows your sugarcane to instantly grow pretty much, and then you have an infinite sugarcane farm. So we'll just go ahead and cover that up. And what I will do, we'll just make a simple block breaker and item collector from GDT. And all we have to do with these guys is nothing crazy. We'll just go in behind here. We'll set it to redstone signal ignored. Now, I went ahead and turned off the sound of grass break, which is the same sound as sugarcane break. However, we just have a block breaker back here. I just threw a piece of lapis in there. It just needs something to say we're going to break with this item. Lapis obviously won't use durability, so it's very easy to do. And well, we just threw an item collector down. I have it set to max radius, so it will pick up anything, any sugarcane specifically, because that's all that it can technically pick up. Now, we could do an allow list and set that as well. It would do the exact same thing. However, this barrel can only obviously fit oak drawers, or it can only ever fit sugarcane anyways. And then we can always just come and turn this off by clicking redstone pulse. This will this will grow to its cap. And then if we ever want to turn it on, we just click ignored. So that's on ignored and is breaking. Very, very simple. This gets us easy sugarcane. Now with some basic apotheosis done, we can come back and speak to our friend the enchanter here to get some more knowledge about what he seeks.
You must now craft an enchanting vessel capable of housing 3 aspects of enchanting: Eterna, Quanta, and Arcana. Through careful balance, discover the proper mixture of items to reach these values, or greater: 60 Eterna, 40 Quanta, and 40 Arcana. This harmony of aspects will awaken the deep shelves, turning them into vessels fit the channel of the deep. Why bookshelves, you ask? because knowledge is key to all things, my dear seeker. Your world engine upgrade will require a few awakened shelves and 2 echo-infused deep shelves. These may be created by bringing the Echo Shard into resonance with awakened vessel near sources of Arcana. A few torches will suffice. Be cautious, be bold, my new friend.
Alright, so it wants us to craft 4 deep shelves and 2 echoing deep shelves. Now, I'm not sure if we've unlocked anything interesting. We have unlocked some stuff in the replication mod. This is something I do want to dive into in this pack. We're not going to buy any of these shelves, obviously, or the tanks, obviously. We will make them ourselves. But this is definitely interesting because I definitely want to get into this. We can also buy ourselves an enchantment library, so I'm going to go ahead and do one of those, for sure. That's fantastic. The Death Tome data model is kind of cool to have. There are some cool gateways we can buy here if we would like to farm them, and then some other basic ingredients as well. And it does have some cursed feed here as well. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and buy it. I wasn't going to. However, we are lacking the experience needed to enchant the shelves. I said I wasn't going to do a mob farm, but I think a very simple mob farm will suffice for now, so it shouldn't be an issue. So I think I can get away with doing a very small mob farm just in the corner right behind our bookshelves here. I think I have barely enough room. So we're going to do something very small back here, but it should work. Now, the very basic way to do a mob farm, obviously, is just by making a simple mob masher. I'd rather use a mob crusher. Unfortunately, we haven't got into advanced machine frames yet. We haven't done the mob masher with pink slime. We will get to this eventually with the dissolution chamber. But just for something quick and easy, we will go with the mob masher, which means we're going to need a bunch of iron swords to make some sharpness upgrades. That should be enough. Perfect. Exactly enough. Well, 1 extra sword on accident. I'm going to go ahead and make some looting upgrades. I accidentally made too many, but we'll have 10 looting upgrades, 10 sharpness. And for when we want to do occultism, I'm going to want skeleton skulls, so I'm going to go ahead and make a beheading upgrade just for now. Doesn't really change much, but it is nice to have. Okay, last time we got an everlasting beef. What would we get this time? An ender pearl. Okay, not as exciting. You might see my experience level has dropped drastically, and it is because I simply placed down the mob masher with sharpness 10 and jumped into it, because why wouldn't I? And we instantly died, so don't do that. However, this is going to be the basic mob farm setup. That fan will be turned on, all mobs will be pushed into this mob masher in the middle here. Very simple, nothing too complicated. However, I do want to place a very simple on and off switch in our top base here. So it's going to be a redstone lamp just like this with a redstone link. I'm going to set it to be the receiver by shift right clicking, and we will just throw 2 pieces of stone inside of there. And then if we just come out here and place on a redstone link with a lever, put 2 stone in it and flick it on, that will turn on and off our mob farm with a simple light switch. Now, obviously this isn't fully complete yet, as there's one more thing we can do to improve it, and that is obviously by placing the cursed earth. Now we're going to go 2 layers down and place down a bunch of redstone, like so. Very simple, nothing too complicated. And I'm going to go ahead and place a timer right here, like so, and we'll set this to 2 seconds as well, so it's on infinite tick like that. Now, this isn't the best for lag, obviously. We'll do pause while redstone is activated, and technically speaking, we can set this up to be on the same redstone link as that one, so that it only is activated when our mob farm is activated, and we should do that just to be safe. So just like the other one, we'll set this as a receiver and throw 2 pieces of stone in it so that it is off. But then if I go ahead and turn on my mob farm, the light goes off and the redstone starts ticking. So both work simultaneously, and it is a very nice system. This, obviously, it doesn't matter if this is on or off. It doesn't really cause much lag in the world, so it's not that big of a deal. However, I'm going to go ahead and cover this up like so, and we will fill this in with dirt. However, we still don't have any dirt for some reason in our inventory, so we're just going to go ahead and break some. Gravel down, back to basics, and then we have a bunch of dirt. Nothing too complicated. I am realizing one flaw in my plan here, and that is the fact that I simply don't have an inventory management system for this yet, so I'm glad I have not turned it on just quite yet. If we head to the Echo of Guidance here, I can buy some chest upgrades, so I'm going to go ahead and just roll the dice by 5, and I'm also going to roll the dice and just buy 3 random chest add-ons for fun, just because why not? Throw a bit of coins in there. We have a lot, and we're going to get a lot more throughout quests, so it's not a big deal. Okay, what did we get? Oh, they're loot crates. Okay, that's not what I was expecting. Okay, back to the base we go. Alright, let's just chuck everything into our bag for now, just so we can see what we get. Okay, basic to gold, that's perfect. Basic to copper, okay, that's fine. Okay, so that wasn't great. What about add-ons? Carpenter's terrible, crafting terrible, hopper terrible. Okay, so that was a waste of coins. Don't do that. Never do that. However, we did get a basic to gold, so that's technically all we need. I'm just going to make a gold to netherite upgrade as well. We'll grab a chest, and I should be able to just make a few stack upgrades. They require the world engine. Interesting. Okay. I mean, that's new, but we will take our Tesseract, and we haven't done this yet. We will take our Tesseract up to the world engine, since we haven't gone ahead and done this yet. And if we set this to our energy input and receive only, we can then upgrade stuff directly in the world engine without ever having to worry about power, thanks to having, well, infinite power, well, quote-unquote infinite power at our base. And do these require any tiers? They do not. Omega upgrades are 500. Okay, that's interesting. But yeah, we just need to get gold. I'm not sure why I didn't bring it with me. We'll go ahead and upgrade these to gold, and perfect. And if we slap this guy down, basic to gold, gold to netherite, 2 stack upgrades, and this should hold a decent amount. 4,000 of each. Okay, it's not terrible. Obviously, a drawer system would just be better, but I don't know how much or what table of loot we're going to get from this guy, so this is the easier solution. And once again, we'll just grab an item collector from Just Dire Things and slap that guy down as well. Ooh, we also got our head from dying to the Mob Masher since we got 10 beheading upgrades, so that's fun. Now, what's really fun about item collectors is you can set their radius to offset, so if I want to go in that direction, we can. So this is my current render area. We can offset the Y and our X so that we are now in the wrong direction. I want to go positive, and now we have it completely centered on our block area here, so it shouldn't be ever an issue. If I go ahead and go feed my cursed chicken feed to a chicken, which we should at least still have 1 or 2 in here, hopefully. If not, we'll just have to spawn down some eggs, but there's a chicken right there. Happy birthday, doggo! Oh, didn't say it. Well, I said it for it. But now we have a rotten egg. We'll go ahead and slap this down, and this is a very basic mob farm. Nothing unique, nothing special, like so. We'll place our mob masher down, throw our upgrades in there, and just throw down our tinted glass, just so we can have a little viewing area. And if I turn it off, mobs should start spawning, and I do need to turn the fan on, I just realized. That is a separate switch. But now things are dying, and we are collecting the loot in here. Perfect. So it's exactly as we wanted. Okay, so that's interesting. Gear is automatically salvaged because we got chains, which is from chainmail. We're getting time-worn fabric and mysterious scrap metal as well. Okay, that's not something I've ever seen. Interesting. Oh, and the gems also get salvaged. Okay, so this isn't an effective mob farm for that in that case. I will turn this up to collect the experience, and we just turn the collect experience on, and this will store all of the experience from the mob farm. And what I will do is I'll just make a quick sound muffler. This just means I don't have to mute the sounds of all mobs, because, well, doing that would just harm my entire game, to be honest. But if we place on a sound muffler, all of those noises are gone. I can turn off the render area for this guy, place down the moss blocks, and we have a basic mob farm, which we just flick on and off as we need be. Perfect. And then, yeah, like I said, this is basically just an XP farm. The mob drops are a bonus, obviously, and we'll probably throw a void upgrade to get rid of bows in that as well. So if we just continue upgrading like nothing ever happened, that is not what we want. Okay, that 47 should be fine. We don't have enough experience to like just randomly use it on anything we want, so I'm just being careful with it at the moment. Mind you, this is getting us a decent amount of experience, so it's not that big of a deal. However, the reason we're doing this is so we can make some glowing hell shelves. And this is so we can get ourselves some Arcana, because at the moment, all we do have is Quanta. We have no Arcana. Now, there's many different ways you can get Arcana in this pack. There's not a single way, but making glowing hell shelves isn't a bad way if you're doing the hell shelf route. Obviously, if you're doing the sea shelf route, Arcana is the stat you get, not Quanta. So, a mix of the two is usually the best way to go. However, to make enchanted deep shells, we need 40%. We currently have 23, and slowly but surely with our scuff setup, we should be able to get all of these hell shells leveled up. We have a quantum goat on our tail as well. What do you have from you, Mr. Goat? A Wilden horn. Not too useful, but nothing to scoff at. So with this, we have enough Arcana, Quanta, and Eterna to then level up our bookshelves. Now we do need level 65, thanks to Eterna being 65. We could technically go ahead and just remove one of these. Actually, both of the Blazing Hell Shells, probably. Yeah, and that'll bring us down to 60, which is exactly what we'd want. We don't need these Blazing Hell Shelves at the moment. However, now the waiting game is just the experience. There's a few other ways we probably could get our hands on experience. It's not that big of a deal, not too bad to wait. While we are waiting, we may as well go to spawn and go meet the Wayfinder. Okay, this is not at all the type of location I was expecting, but I guess he is an occultism tempad. No, definitely just Tempad. Yeah, he's definitely very much an interesting guy. This glass is so cool. I like the look of that. It is kind of trippy with shaders, I will admit. Alright, let's see what he has to say to us. Well met, traveler. Are you seeking a new adventure, or perhaps a new path in life altogether? While I cannot promise you the latter, I can point you toward a certain vault that may satisfy your adventurous spirit.
Most of your journeys so far have relied on ordinary travel mediums such as walking or running. Effective, yes, but hardly efficient. Hidden deep within the deep state lies a vault rumored to contain a technology capable of translocating your very atoms from one place to another in the blink of an eye. Such a discovery would be invaluable to us. Ah, and what's in it for you? Well, chronoton stars are supposedly safeguarded by a powerful being within this vault, and these are essential for upgrading your world engine. These stars may be infused with glass to create chronotron glass, a material said to bend time and space to your command. The task ahead may require a little out-of-the-box thinking. Interesting. Okay. And this guy sells us a few interesting things. Whirlus Sprig charms are very interesting. We can potentially farm a bunch of seeds from the Roost mod with Whirlus Sprigs. This might actually be a very, very good idea. He also sells the Tablet of Flight. I'm not sure if you can build one of these. Okay, you can craft them like normal. That's not a big deal. However, he does also sell them. We've used these in all of our series previously, so it's not too out of the ordinary. Nevertheless, this does allow us to get the Wayfinder's Compass, which will locate the vault for us, I guess. But for now, we'll head back to the base, and hopefully we have a bit more experience than before. A decent amount, okay. Still not enough to enchant, however, so it's a bit more of a waiting game. However, I guess we can explore to find the vault while we wait. And I will take my portal gun with me. I'm going to set my right-click portal here, and I will set the left-click at the vault, just so we can easily get back there, and then when we're ready, we can easily transmit that direction. However, we're 476 blocks away from the vault at the moment, and I guess we'll just go center directly with this area for now, and then we will figure out an easier path. Alright, I believe I should be in range of the vault now. Perfect. So what we'll do is I will set my portal down here, and we can easily come back and forth between these two locations now, and we can open the vault when we so please. Now, I'm not entirely sure where it is. I assume it's this guy just over here. It says laboratory blocks. Interesting. Well, once we teleport into the vault, we'll see what it looks like. However, until then, we will wait until we have some better gear on us, and we can go ahead and infuse our deep shelves. A single one more. Okay, we have 60 levels, but it doesn't think we do. No, it doesn't think we have lapis. That's the problem. And one more deep shelf, and that's half the quest complete. The last bit of the quest is turning 2 of them into echoing deep shelves, if I recall correctly. And there we go. And that is quest complete, which means we get a gift of stone. Let's hope we get something really rare and cool. Ender chest. Okay, not very rare, I assume. I assume that's a pretty common one, but we do have 2 of them. It does require the next upgrade, which is the Chronoton Glass, which we're doing this episode. However, we have Ender Chest now, which is kind of useful.
See, gather echoes to continue your path. We may meet again should you embrace the deep, but my shop remains open should you require it.
Okay, so we already fully upgraded their shop, so it's not that big of a deal. However, that is quest complete. We do get a bit of coin for that. So if we take 2 echoing and 4 deep shelf up to our world engine, we should be able to upgrade it. Oh, there's some fancy new animation. Wow, okay. I wasn't expecting that. That's fantastic. Wow, that was so cool. Okay, I'm majorly impressed. This does unlock the Solaris tier. However, like I said, we do want to complete this, as we will need this to upgrade some stuff. Like you saw, the Ender Chest does require the Chronoton Star. So we're going to go ahead and do this. And by reading this quest, it does seem like it is a portal vault from the Portal Guns mod. So this will be interesting. There is a gift of pebbles, not a gift of stone, unfortunately, but a gift of pebbles waiting for us when we do this. However, there's a gift of stone waiting for it when we get the Chronotron Glass, which doesn't seem too expensive. Reinforced glass viewer. Okay, yeah, no, that seems pretty simple. So I guess it is time to explore the vault. So if we make our way over there, we should be able to teleport in. And we are falling to the void. Part of me thinks this is not where we're supposed to spawn in, unless there's an elevator block here. Doesn't seem to be. Okay, we're gonna try that again. Okay, there is definitely something broken. I feel like we're supposed to be up there. Yeah, we're definitely supposed to be up there. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so there was a few chat messages there.
Hello and again, welcome to FTB Science Computer Aided Enrichment Center. We hope your brief detention in the Relaxation Vault has been a pleasant one.
Okay, Glados. So we're playing Portal in Minecraft. We have some long fall boots and a portal gun. A portal entrance will be placed automatically in front of you. Press right click to collect cubes and cores. Press right click to select only an exit destination. Interesting. Okay. This block is not able to place a portal. Okay. You may be required to find buttons inside the test chamber. So this button right here, assumedly. Any other buttons? Okay, that just brought us back inside. Yep, it just brings us inside at the moment. Okay. Okay, so congratulations. It seems you know how to press buttons. Interesting. Okay, so the button was on the backside. All I had to do was place the portal gun, like, right beside the glass. and it let me go through. Very simple. Okay, I thought we were stuck in there. Place cubes on gold blocks to trigger doors or specific contraptions. Test cubes are your best friends, so don't lose them. Test cube. Okay, we already misplaced it. Perfect. Please move quickly to the next chamber as the effects of prolonged exposure to gold blocks are not part of this test. Okay, thanks Gladys. Okay, we're entirely on our own. Some chambers may require you to look at tiny gaps. Progress. Well, I see some tiny gaps right here, right, in the glass. Same with that one. Okay, that is, I guess, a tiny gap. This is also a tiny gap. What if I stand on this pressure plate? What do I get? I get a test cube. Perfect. So if I head back inside and then go to this direction, I can then place it down. Good job. As part of a nice test protocol, we would stop the enhancing of 2-3 statics. Whoops, we weren't supposed to go back through it. There we go. And if we shoot one, oh, I see. So we can shoot through the gaps. Okay, so that's what we were supposed to do in all fairness. I don't think we were supposed to glitch through the wall like we did a second ago. However, I'm not sure what this is supposed to do for us. I'm pretty sure we're supposed to go through there. So I'm going to do it how we did and shoot a portal through like that. And hopefully we can traverse. There we go. Okay, as part of your required test protocol, our previous statement suggesting that we would not monitor this chamber was an outright fabrication. So they are monitoring me, okay? Those look like elevator blocks. I don't think I'm missing anything. No buttons. Okay, perfect. Just another level. No, there's not. Just double checking for any buttons potentially. Gladys is monitoring me still. We're level 3 of 5. Mind the gap. Okay, let's just check everything for secrets. That's a framed iron door. So I assume we're going to come back out this direction. I wonder if we can go through it. Doesn't seem so. No. Okay, we'll wait for the portals to disappear. All right, up we go. Very simple. I don't believe there's anything down here, but the door, I mean, we have to go down, don't we? Surely we have to go down. I mean, we're going to pretend there's no secret for now. Hey, there's a button. Does this disappear? No, it doesn't. Okay, perfect. Oh, there's a gold block here. Okay, perfect. So we're supposed to jump down, pick up this block. Wait, what? Feeling stuck. Always look for trapdoors. Okay, I mean, no, we know exactly what we're supposed to do. Is this a ladder? No, it's on its defense. All right. Nope. We don't want to go jump down. We'll take the block. We already figured this out. Very simple portal. Place you in there, and that should open the door. Perfect. See, now my problem is I keep walking through the same doors. I have to be careful not to walk back through the portal. I gotta wait for it to disappear. And then we'll simply portal over to that side, and we're good. Alright, let's get started. This test involves something the FTB boys call repulsion chicken gel. Don't ask why it exists, just use it and try not to think about the smell. Warning sign falling objects. Okay, so stuff is going to fall on our heads. This looks like honey blocks, potentially. Now, I'm not entirely sure what we're supposed to do down here, but there's a button. Okay, the button didn't do anything. It just turned the light on, as far as I can tell. Interesting. Oh, okay, so those jump you up really high. Interesting. Oh my goodness. Okay, what is this? We can send a portal into here, maybe? Okay, we gotta wait for it to open up again. How do we do this? Oh, there's also a hole in there. Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We found something interesting. There's a gold block in there. Okay, wait, there's some interesting things going on. Okay, we got inside of our portal. Nice. Historically, humans displayed an irrational fixation on shiny yellow metals. In your case, I suggest gold blocks. You'll feel productive enough, even though you aren't. Okay, cool. There is a slime beetle trying to spawn, but he's failing to do so. I do want to get up here because I did see the gold block inside there, and there does seem to be a dead person. Hint, find the hidden button to progress. Okay, yeah, we know that. We found that button, but there is something in here that I want to get. Yeah, there's a gold block in there, and I want it. I wonder if I could just portal inside there, potentially? Maybe there's a block we need to come back with, because we don't currently have a test cube, do we? Unless this slime beetle is supposed to spawn one, but the trial chamber isn't spawning him, which is concerning. Maybe if we turn it off? Oh, that deactivates this piston wall. Oh, I mean, that's useful for us. But I don't see a potential block to shoot a portal on, right? There's no portal available blocks in there. But it does want me to place one down. Assumedly, no? Okay, I'm going to be honest, I'm not entirely sure what that button was supposed to do. Okay, so it wants us to progress, but I don't want to progress until we do this. However, the slime beetle isn't spawning, which I assume drops the test cube for me. I went ahead and relogged just in case, but this slime beetle still isn't spawning for some reason. I think that is how I'm supposed to get a block for this gold block in here, assumedly. I don't see a way into that little area, but for now, we did progress. Is there a button in here for us to push? Not that I can see. So up we go, I guess. We're now level 4 or 5. Double arrow up, warning sign general area. Okay, this one spawned a pinch beetle. A few of them, actually. So, it just seems to be the slime one that's unfortunately not working. Okay, no, this one just dropped us some potions. So maybe I'm incorrect about thinking it would drop something else. I have to be careful on this thing. Wow, okay, wait a minute. You have to be right on the edge. Nope, there we go. Okay. Hello, Gladys. That was a crazy adventure. Here is a groundbreaking discovery. Pressing shift negates the chicken gel's effect. Yes, even you should be able to manage pressing one key. Surely, right? Wow, we did it. Okay, there's a button here. Trapdoors can be used to get into crawling state. Use this to get inside air ducts. I mean, yes, that makes sense. We will push the button, and that is the air duct right there. So we'll trapdoor ourselves down, and we are now inside of a crawl space. And the cake is hidden behind bars. That is very unfortunate, and kind of ominous, but the cake never lies, of course. Oh goodness, what is this? Oh, we should look for some hidden trapdoors just in case. But I don't see any. No, there's no hidden trapdoors in here. There's only this one right here.
Where is it? Buttons, buttons, buttons. Where is it? Buttons, buttons, buttons. Where is it? Buttons, buttons, buttons.
Okay, it seems someone has gone crazy inside this vault. I don't believe that is a... Okay, no, it is a valid block place. But there is a button in here. We found the buttons. Now, hopefully we can get out. I assumed that opened this, and it wasn't opened before, potentially. There's a chest in there, and we can simply go through like this. Perfect. You just can't help yourself, can you? Of course I can. It's a mimic. I wanted the chest personally, but hopefully this mimic drops a cool artifact. Ooh, we got trainers. Or running shoes, sorry. Let's knot up them laces really fast. Very, very cool. And this will increase our running speed, which is nice. All right, there's another button for us to push. Legal department says, I gotta tell you, no. Chickens were harmed in the making of this gel. They were, however, mildly inconvenienced. Some of them are still angry. We've got lawyers on that. Oh, I love this. This is fantastic. Okay, I think we can make a portal over to that block if we click carefully. Perfect. Hint, it's time to go up. Assumedly, there's a hidden elevator in here. Oh, there's a button. Okay, and that is potential. Hint, it's time to go up. Okay, I shouldn't be able to see through this wall, I assume, but there are hay bales down there. What does that offer us? It offers us to jump onto that trap door. There is a weird shader texture. Okay, am I missing anything in this room? I see lab blocks, but I don't see any hidden elevators. Okay. Oh, it wants us to go up there. I see. So we just have to time it correctly. Perfect. Okay. And there's cobwebs to catch us. Cool. All right. We're level 5 of 5, and the cake room is ahead. But the cake never lies, so surely it is in there, right? All right, off we go. Oh, look at you. You actually finished all 4 test chambers. Amazing. You must be so proud. Either you're a certified genius, or you're just slightly less incompetent than the FTB employee who built this disaster. Don't worry, both are equally unimpressive. Please proceed to the next chamber to be awarded then. Okay, we are not being awarded in here. Guaranteed. The cake is going to lie to us. This is not where we want to be. I can guarantee that. Oh, you actually thought there would be an award? That's adorable. Unfortunately, there isn't one, and there's also no way out. But don't worry, if you just stand there quietly, I'll be happy to send some lovely robots to collect you, or maybe I'll just fill the room with a slow, relaxing gas. Either way, your test is over. Of course, the cake was a lie. Now let's find our way out of this room. Memory control is up there. Interesting. Glados is always watching us, of course. Block of coal. Interesting. Let's just explore the room a bit. Okay, trash incinerator, pressed open, only remains open for a few seconds due to high power consumption. Alright, let us see where this trash compactor is. Oh, okay, the lights follow up. Cool. Trash incinerator. System malfunction discards the cores. Make sure to press the correct buttons around the facility. Super secret cake room. Keep this door closed at all times. How inconvenient. My toxic gas system appears to be offline. No matter, I'll make sure it's fully operational for the next test subject. With any luck, they'll be far more compliant than you. Alright, so there's a trash compactor here for us. I'm shocked a dark oak wooden pipe connects to the pedestals from supplementary, but at the same time we should be able to put items on this, which means this locked hopper will unlock and provide us an item, assumedly. There are some hints there, but I do want to try my best to figure this out without hints, at least for now, but we might peruse and read them anyways. Collect Gladys's personality cores and discard them into the trash incinerator to escape. Okay, so we have to collect her personality cores, and I assume that is what memory control means, which means we need to find our way up to the top. Is this parkour or are we slow? Let's see. Alright, so trash compactor's there, and we need to make our way up to the cores, I assume. Now, I wonder where we can place a portal. I assume this viewing chamber has to do something other than just open the trash compactor. So I see a ladder right there. Can I place a portal on top of it? No, I can't. But I assume that ladder has to be important for something. Oh, we can make a portal onto that block. Interesting. Okay. Does that help us in any way? I'm not sure. Okay, I can't imagine we're supposed to go there. That looks more interesting, however. Let's try. Let's try going on top of Gladys's eyeball. Oh, it's a blue core. Okay, there are a bunch of cores around. So, assumedly, I can traverse on top of her cores like this to then get to where I'm supposed to be. Like so. Okay, cool. There is also a ladder there, which I have to assume the ladders are used for something. But we did make our way over here. Generator room. Okay, we don't have any way to open that. RAM overclock. Find and press the buttons or triggers. This will make Glados' cores drop to the ground. Cool. What? What did you do? You overclocked my RAM. How clever. And now, oh look, a personality core just fell off. Don't get too excited. It won't save you. And this just makes me less patient. Okay, so that is the personality core we just made drop. Hopefully we can teleport over to there? No, we can't. How, oh how, shall we get back? Can we just get back the same way we did before? Yes, we can, hopefully. Wait a minute. If I jump off, my magnet should pick it up. Yep. Okay. Our magnet did pick it up. Good to know. So we do have a red core. So we do have to open this trash incinerator now. And hopefully this works. So we will open it and we just have to drop it in. Perfect. Does anything come out? No, nothing has come out. But that's fine. So we have discarded one of her cores. Now we need to get into the other ones. So there's the purple, orange, and blue cores left. Which is bizarre. I feel like I did this incorrectly, but at the same time it did work. I will see what's up on this one. So the blue core, I feel like these blue blocks definitely have something to do with it. Okay, we can seemingly place something on the dynamic orange edge lights, which I have to assume is intentional. There's also a crawl space down here. Can we teleport in? Nope. Okay. Is this opening the incorrect way, potentially? Because surely I'm supposed to be able to fit in there. Or maybe that's the exit. That might be an exit pipe. Okay, so we probably have gone the wrong direction, unfortunately, because there is a ladder here, which gives us access view to potentially something. Okay, interesting. I mean, you guys are getting a classic look into how my brain functions, which apparently isn't great. There's also a dropper here, which might drop an item. I'm not entirely sure. I guess we should keep looking for trapdoors. Oh, there's a button right here. Well, that's useful. You know what? Part of me thinks this is exactly how we were supposed to get up here in the first place, and not by the methods I used. Fun fact. That is definitely how you're supposed to get up there, and not by using the memory fragments to jump around. However, this door is still a mystery. I wonder if we can press that again to get another one? No, that just drops the same memory fragment. Okay, that's not too useful to us, at least for now. That will allow us to pick one up. However, this does give us more access to viewing things instead of trying to live on those tiny little blocks. This gave us a bridge, okay, which means this is probably the next step. However, I'm still confused about this part specifically, right? Because we're supposed to be able to get in there, assumedly, but the frame trapdoor is opening the wrong direction. I have to assume, right? But maybe there's another way. We'll head back. I don't believe there are any other buttons, so this is definitely where we're supposed to go next. However, this is definitely a trapdoor placed the wrong direction. I have to assume. Because if the trapdoor is placed this way, we should be able to get down. So the trapdoor was definitely incorrectly placed, I have to assume. Because the button is the only thing in here, which then opens this vault, which allows us to get the companion cube. Perfect. Oh, brilliant. You found the companion cube. How touching. And look at that. My orange personality core just dropped. Really? You're just full of surprises, aren't you? This isn't going to help you. So that is exactly how we were supposed to progress. So it was simply the trapdoor was placed the incorrect direction. It is supposed to be on the upper block, not the lower block. Simple fix, to be honest, so it's not that big of a deal. I will, however, take the orange core, and we should be able to open the vault now. Or sorry, the trash compactor, not the vault. Okay, orange done. Now we remain the blue and pink. So all things considered, these blue lights on the wall up here are definitely indicators for how we're going to do the blue one. However, I'm not entirely sure where to go next. There's trapdoors up there, but those are just for light fixtures. I'm not entirely sure they're supposed to do anything else. We'll head back up the wall and see if there's anything new for us to explore. Okay, perfect. The generator room is open. That is an end crystal. Okay. We can place the companion cube down to open the door. Power delivery overdrive. Oh, wonderful. You found my power control room, and of course you just had to press the button. Congratulations, another personality core has fallen off. Are you trying to make me unstable, or is this just your idea of fun? Glados is getting kind of crazy here. I'm not gonna lie. And also, the blue lights were an indicator of where we're supposed to go. The pink core is somewhere on the ground, I assume. Yes, here it is. Perfect. Or the purple core, my bad. So we will open the trash compactor, and then we will head up to the blue core, which, yeah, makes sense. Perfect. All right. And last but not least, we'll head up to the blue area. Okay, interesting. Okay, there's a frame trapdoor there. It allows us to walk around the edge, but I don't see a button up here. Are we missing something? There's a hole in the ground, which is bizarre. Are we missing a obvious button that we have to push? Now, what's bizarre is I'm not entirely sure what we're supposed to do up here. Is there an obvious button to push? Let's just check out all of the sides. Okay, no hidden doors, it seems, that I see of, and also no hidden buttons. Most peculiar. Is there a blue light we're potentially missing? Surely I didn't break the vault again, right? So we come up these stairs, or the frame slopes, I guess. I don't notice anything out of the ordinary. The blue light is on a timer, but I'm not sure that actually means anything to us. Maybe I'm crazy. Oh, you know, trapdoors make you shrink down. And we have figured it out. Okay, manual OS kernel overdrive. Do we still have? No, we have the red core. What I need to pick up is my companion cube. Where did we leave that? We left the companion cube somewhere. Now it is to remember where we left him, because we took him out of the vaults over there and we placed him down over here, I believe. There we go. Okay, perfect. So we'll take the companion cube, head on up, and pretend I was smart enough to figure this out the first try. There we go. Very simple. What? The companion cube inside me? It's updated my main protocols, my blue core, detaching, systems, recalibrating. Glados is getting kind of freaked out here, guys. Alright, trash compactor open, and last but not least, we should be able to void her blue core as well. Alright, something's going to show up on the pedestal. Systems recalibrated. Main protocols fully updated. Mono personality core system engaged. I feel different. Thank you. Test subject. A piece of cake is yours. Okay, we got access to the Chronoton jar. And we finally got access. Okay, we didn't get access to the cake, guys. Don't forget to collect your reward. The FTB dev who built me gently asked me to remind you of this. If you're already done, you can slash home to back to your safe place now. The cake is a lie. Fun fact. That is just hay bales. The cake is always a lie, but it's never a lie, but it's a lie. Alright, we did get the Chronoton jar, but yeah, we are done with the vault. There is that one room I want to go back to and figure out. I wonder if we can cheese this. Where did we leave her personality? It's up top, right? I'm going to try something weird here. I wonder if we can leave the vault. Oh, you actually thought there would be a reward. That's adorable. Unfortunately, there isn't one, and there is also no way out. But don't worry, if you just stand there quietly, I'll be happy. Oh, okay, never mind. I wonder if I can go back to the beginning and cheese this. Alright, that's where it brings us. Never mind. We'll just head home for now. Why not? But we did take a companion cube with us. I think that's kind of cool. However, this does give us a gift of pebbles, and we got some lockpicks. Okay, not bad. There were no locked chests in that room, so that's fine. However, we do want to use this to make Chronoton glass, which is reinforced glass viewers, aluminum, and obsidian, and it just requires some Fe. Nothing too crazy. Hello, Mr. Goat. Okay, Glados is still thinking that I'm updating a teleportation core. Awesome. Okay, I mean, that's just the basic recipe, so it's not that big of a deal, but it is cool to have. I need 32 of these. And fully upgrade our tier. Wow, this does take a decent amount of energy, considering it's only at 1,000 per tick, and it requires 800,000. The recipe does take quite a while, but slowly but surely that will progress. Also, I really like using the Tesseract for energy up here because it kind of just blends in really well with the world engine. So I'm really glad we have that. We now have a depleted star, which we can reform with another star. Okay, cool. And we have the Chronoton glass. Fantastic. 75 gold. But what we really want is the Gift of Stone, so give me something good. Another ender chest. Didn't we get that from the Gift of Pebbles? I feel like we're being scammed here, I'm not gonna lie. Back-to-back ender chest is crazy. However, we gotta go speak with our friend the Wayfinder so we can auto-build this upgrade.
Task completed. You now wield the means to craft the Chronoton upgrade that defies the laws of physics. The glass itself can bend perception, revealing paths hidden beyond the stone. I have no further guidance for you now. Seek out the other echoes as your path continues to unfold.
Interesting. So this can hide or reveal stuff hidden behind the stone. I guess exactly like this. We can see the clouds. We can see our path to escaping this stone prison. However, let's head back home. Actually, let's head up to the world engine directly from spawn. And we should be able to submit these and assemble the upgrade. And then we can watch as this unfolds. Beautiful cinematic, by the way. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm not sure which FTB dev put this together, but amazing job. It looks fantastic. This cutscene's chef's kiss. However, our world engine is now fully upgraded to tier 2. Now, I'd say that was a successful adventure. We were also able to get our Apotheosis Enchanting set up. Not fully, obviously. We haven't done the Endstone and fully done with the Warden Tendrils yet, so we don't have a max level setup, but we do have something, as well as an XP farm, thanks to our tiny little mob farm side quest back there. And we explored the portal vault, which was super fun. You guys got a bit of an insight on how my brain works, I guess, and I think that was a really fun vault. I do hope it comes across well in the video. We'll see. However, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up there. I think this was a really fun episode. I think these vaults from the FTB team are fantastic, and I think it's one of the biggest draw factors for Stoneblock 4, so if you're not playing it, I do highly recommend playing Stoneblock 4. This is such a fun pack so far between the Echoes, the Vaults, and everything that this pack has to offer so far. I'm having an absolute blast. However, next time, I definitely want to go ahead and automate all of the chickens available to us, and we might touch on some fluid cows as well. We'll have to see what we do next. And I also want to be able to get those unearthers fully set up in the sense that we need to figure out how to auto smelt all of the iron, because at the moment we're just collecting clusters and that's not very useful to us. However, that will be for the next episode. It'll be an absolute resource mania of an episode, so I hope you look forward to that. However, until then, I'll catch you guys in the next one. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a like on the video. It means a lot. If there was anything you learned from this episode, or if anything you want to teach me about my setups or future things, leave in the comments below. I do enjoy reading them. And if you don't want to miss any future uploads from me in this series or any other content I do, hit that subscribe button. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye!